Hello, this is Todd Shank from Premier FPL. I'm going to be doing my Gameweek 27 Fantasy Premier League tips. Just getting ready for this weekend then. Starting out, I did want to promote the blog here at premierfpl.com, and up here at the top you can find the Fantasy Premier League fixtures planner. I will be updating this later today so that it will cover week 27 through 37, which kind of crazy. We're down to 11 more matches left in the season, so really coming up on the close of the season here. Anyway, so since it's been a little while, just wanted to go back, take a look at some of the statistics and kind of use that as a way to look at maybe some teams to look at picking players from, as opposed to specific players. I think there's plenty of other videos, podcasts, blogs out there to help you with some specific players. Even if you want to go in, sort through some of the statistics in here. I would say one thing you could look at doing is ICT. Sorting by form. It gives you a good idea of which players are in form. James Ward-Prowse, who's actually one I had thought about picking up last week, but decided against it, and then he went ahead and scored a goal and got an assist. So, but yeah, he's one you could look at picking up. Just have to be aware of their matches coming up with Southampton. They're playing Liverpool this weekend, and then they have a pretty good run here. So definitely a player that you could think about. Anyway, so looking here at the goal types, obviously Man City has the lead here, 53 from open play. They've scored the most goals this season. But if you look down past that at some of these other teams here. Again, this is over at whoscored.com, so you can always go there. I just went to the team statistics for the Premier League here. So looking down through, one of the teams that probably want to look at avoiding, although they've been doing a little bit better lately, is West Brom. Could keep an eye on Daniel Sturridge, see how he does. Otherwise, you have Jay Rodriguez there. They're about the only two that I would trust. Solomon Rondon has not really done it. But they do have, they're here in mid-table as far as scoring set pieces. That's about as you can see, 10 goals from open play and 8 from set pieces. So something to look at there. Anyway, so looking at the open play, you have Watford up here, along with West Ham, 23 and 22. So ideally, we all know who the high-end players are. We know, Hazard, Salah, Aguero. You know that they're going to be scoring goals. It's more trying to figure out what players, what teams you want to look at as far as getting some differentials in there and getting some of those more of those value picks that can make sure that you have the room to bring in. So like with me, I have Sanchez, Salah, Sterling, and Kane all in my team. So to make room for those, you really have to look for those differential players that are a little bit lower priced. I decided to bring in Klukas last week after he had been doing well in some of these previous weeks. I'd mainly been looking at some of their fixtures, thinking that they would be able to pick it up against Leicester City. Didn't really do it. This weekend they play Burnley, so that's going to be a tough one. They're at home, so could be getting goals. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with Klukas yet. And I also brought in Milivojevic to make room for Sanchez in my team. I am really banking on Sanchez coming through. Their fixtures are pretty scattered, as you can see here. So, but I'm kind of banking on him to carry this team off, carry United offensively. But so Anyway, going back here. So looking at some of these mid-tier teams, I would say basically from Everton up through Watford, those are some of the teams that you might want to look at trying to find some players. See if we can sort here by form. So Delafeo is one that you could think about picking up. Since coming over to Watford, he already has a goal and an assist. That was up against Chelsea. They have some decent fixtures coming up here too. So he's one that I'm actually thinking about trying to bring in. 2.2% ownership, not bad either. West Ham. West Ham's kind of a tough one trying to pick any players from there. But one guy I had thought about bringing in last week, I decided against it as well, was Jordan Ibe. He's been doing well lately as too. Playing for Bournemouth. They're right here in this middle of the pack area. Set pieces, 5 goals. Set pieces, 11 goals. So even trying to figure out, and actually, great place to figure out the set piece takers, usually where I go, is over here at Fantasy Football Scout. So yeah, as you can see here, they have lined up penalties, free kicks, corners, and the one thing here to look at is Arsenal has 12 goals from set pieces this season. So you do have Lacazette as their first penalty taker, but I don't see him playing very much. So Ozil is definitely one to look at, taking direct free kicks, taking corners, taking penalties. For Bournemouth, you do have Wilson as their top for their penalties, and then Harry Arter and Fraser. I'm blanking on his first name there, but then you also have Ibe and Fraser, Sermon. You got some of these guys taking the corners and indirect free kicks, so definitely a good chance to pick up some points. Depending on who you want to pick up here, I think I already have Callum Wilson in my team. But yeah, so Bournemouth is a team you might want to look at. Southampton, again, another team that's not scored a whole lot from open play, but does have 9 goals from set pieces. So Bournemouth, Southampton, looking at some of their set piece takers here might be a good thing. Ward-Prowse is in there. Did actually score a goal from free kick recently. So yeah, something to take a look at there. If you want to use whoscored.com to take a look at this a little bit more, you can always check out home and away. So Chelsea actually has the most goals away. I do need to change this. So in this weekend, they're at home. Then they got a couple away games coming up as well. But again, like I said, I think you're better off looking at players here in the middle of the table. West Ham, Watford, decent. They're both pretty decent away, especially when you compare them to where they're at home. West Ham, 8 goals at home, 14 goals on the road. So definitely a much better team on the road. All right, let's see. So game week 27, West Ham is at home to Watford. So Watford might be one of those teams you really want to look at. 13 goals on the road this season. 3 set piece goals here, and even have the own goal in there. So Watford is a team you might want to look at, and actually I think I might want to take a look here. So here's the fantasyxl.com for daily fantasy, and you can see my team here. I decided to go with a Burnley defense playing against Swansea. Swansea's looked much better lately, so it's taken a little bit of a chance there, but Burnley, just their defensive record this season has been outstanding, even being able to hold out against some of the top teams. So I'm going to be going with them. The one player I want to keep an eye on is Pope. Nick Pope might be going out depending on whether Tom Heaton is ready or not for the weekend. I am banking on Arsenal getting some goals. Part of that is their cost here in the Fantasy XL is a little bit lower. Also banking on Sanchez and Aguero getting some goals this weekend. I think Shaqiri is one. He's so hit or miss, but this weekend Stoke is playing against Brighton, and Brighton has been pretty woeful this season. Actually, we can range this here by goals against from open play. Wow, Everton here at the top. Stoke has given up 22 goals as well. So actually, I might want to rethink that actually after looking at this. But Shaqiri is, I believe he does take some of he is their direct free kick taker. So if they're able to get a free kick, that's an interesting one. Brighton has given up 10 set piece goals. Looks like most here with Leicester. So just some very interesting statistics here, especially in terms of goals allowed. West Ham giving up 19. That's another, I guess that is away from, they're playing at home this weekend. Watford here. West Ham at home allowed 8 goals. So 17 goals that they've allowed on the road or at home. 8 from open play. You can always, for Watford away, 13 goals. So I still think that is a good stack there. Might look to bring in some more Watford players for my daily fantasy here. So kind of looking ahead here at some of the teams to stack. Liverpool has some excellent fixtures coming up. Bournemouth, I think, is another one to look at, trying to bring in some more players. Everton has been so hit or miss. It's hard to really say anything for them. Swansea is one. They've looked a lot better lately, so I would say it's safe to look at bringing in some more of their players. Their low price point will probably mean that you can make room for some other big players. And same thing with Tottenham. Good string of matches here. Toughest ones after the Arsenal match are going to be Chelsea and Man City. So definitely a good one to look at there. West Brom, I would say they look like they have a good run in here, but they just can't score goals. I mean, it doesn't matter home or away. They're basically down here at the bottom, just not able to score goals. They do have the decent set piece at home. Away, they don't score quite as many. And then, they're giving up a fair amount of goals as well. So West Brom is a tough one. Party really has not done a whole lot to change them this season. I guess they have a few more goals since he joined them, but it's not really done a whole lot. So as far as my own team, I don't know that I'm really even going to make any changes. I believe Stephen Ward is finally back from his injury, but still can't get a place in the team. So, gonna have to figure out something with him. Sam Klukas is another one that I think I'm actually going to keep him in there just because of their fixtures coming up. Calvert-Lewin, I think I might keep him too. He ended up scoring even though it was on my bench last week. As well as Kane and Sanchez both got me goals, but also had the minuses for missing penalties. But I think I'm going to stick with Sanchez as my captain against Newcastle for this weekend. So that's kind of my team here. I think I will actually hold off on my transfer, and then I'll have the 2 transfers for next week, being able to prepare for some of these other fixtures coming up. Don't believe they have a double game week just yet. I think they have any of those coming out yet. Mostly waiting for the FA Cup 6th round to finish up, and then I guess we'll see what's going on as far as, I think that's in quarterfinals and semifinals, and that'll change a lot of fixtures. So we'll just have to be ready for that. I think I might actually go into my daily fantasy here, make a few changes. I'm pretty sure I do have some extra money. Yeah, I still have 16.5 in the bank there that I could do some more changes. Maybe try to bring in a couple more Watford players as well. So anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. You can always find me on Twitter at Premier FPL. I would really love the subscriptions. Appreciate those of you who've already subscribed to the channel. That really helps it to grow. Leave me some comments. I'll try to make sure to get back to you on that. And then, like I said, you can find the fixtures planner at premierfpl.com. Just go to the link here at the top, and I will be updating that here this morning. As always, wish you good luck and have fun.